because the self is full of itself. You talk about people, you say he's full of himself. That's exactly what it means. He's full of himself. One of the things about Darija, Ammiya, a lot of people don't think what these terms mean, in Darija. But one of the things the Egyptians, they say, and they don't know what it means, but I'm convinced it's from their own spiritual tradition. If an Egyptian wants you to say, watch out, he says, Khalli balik min nafsik. Isn't that how they say watch out? Khalli balik min nafsik. But if you actually look at what it means in Arabic, it means empty your mind of your ego. Khalli balik min nafsika. Do the takhliya of yourself. That's how you watch out. Because the only thing that gets you in trouble is your nafs. That's the only thing. It's the only thing that gets you in trouble is your nafs. And so the Muslims were very serious about doing work on themselves. Now they're serious about doing work on everybody but themselves. They don't want to do any work on themselves because there's nothing wrong with them. It's America. That's what's wrong. It's Israel. That's what's wrong. It's Bashar. If we could just get rid of that guy, everything would be perfect. It's everything but where it all starts. That's why, and if you look at our condition, that's the whole basis of it. The Prophet ﷺ, he began by emptying them out. He made them vessels for the truth. But first he had to empty them out. Like the famous, the martial artist who wanted to study with the master, and he goes and he meets this master that he's been trying to get the opportunity to study with them. And he says, and I studied with Master so-and-so. We did this. I did Wing Chun, and then we studied with him, and I did this system, and then I studied with this, I did this. And he's telling the master all these people he studied with and all these things he learned. And so when the tea came, he just kept pouring the tea, the master, and until the cup was just overflowing. And this man says, well, why are the cup's full? He said, so? He said, no, you should stop filling it because it's full. So it can't take any more? He said, no, of course not. If it's full, it can't take any more. He said, well, you're full, so I can't. It's the same thing. You're full. And you find this motif in many teaching stories about Hassan al-Shadri when he went to meet Muli Abdul Salam ibn Mashish. And here's a man who went from Morocco. He was a great scholar, studied in the Qarawiyyin, and then he went to Tunis, he studied, he went the east, and he was looking for a spiritual master. When he got to Iraq, one of the people of Iraq told him, he said, the man you're looking for is in Morocco. So he went all the way from Morocco to Iraq, and the Iraqi man said, no, you're looking for Muli Abdul Salam ibn Mashish. So he went back, and he went up the mountain. For anybody that's visited that part, it's near Tatwan. He went up the mountain to where this great sage was living. And when he first met him, he came in the clothes of the ulama. He had all these beautiful jalaba and Muli Abdul Salam ibn Mashish said, "Akhtasalt, did you do ghusl?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Irja." He said, "You didn't do." So he goes back, he does ghusl again, he comes back. He said, "Akhtasalt, He said, "Yes." He said, "No, you didn't. Go back." So he goes back, and then on the third time, he got the point. He's obviously doesn't mean what he. So he took the clothes of his servant and he put them on. He gave his servant his clothes, and then he came and he said, "Now you're ready to come. You have to strip away if you." And this is, people don't want to do this anymore. We're like, Jalaluddin al-Rumi tells a story about the barber. They used to do tattoos. So you go to the barber, you get your hair cut, you get a tattoo. Like now in America, right? And so he goes to the barber, and he tells him, I want a tattoo. He said, well, what do you want? He said, I want a lion. You know, people wonder why everybody's getting tattoos now. Tattoos are about the ego. You know, Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. Now they say, I ink, therefore I am. That it's a way of letting people know I'm different. I'm special. I've got this butterfly on my back. You don't have one of those. Right? And then they get more and more. And they can't stop because it's not working. You know, you just keep trying to make it work. So he wants a lion because he wants to feel like a lion. So put a lion on my back. And so the tattoo artist, he says, all right. So he starts with his needling. What's that? You know, he said that's the tail. He said, no, make it a lion without a tail. So he said, okay. So then he starts again. What's that? He said, that's the ear. He said, no, make a lion without ears. He said, okay. And then he starts again. What's that? He said, that's the mane. No, make it a lion without a mane. And then he does it again. He says, what's that? It's the stomach. He said, no, I don't want a stomach on the lion. He said, listen, even God didn't make a lion like this. I can't do anything for you. And Rumi says that why he's telling the story is that this is people on the spiritual path. He says they want without any work. They don't want the pain of sacrifice, of work. They want the finished product just there for everybody to see, but they don't want to do any of the work to get there. So historically, you know, Muslims, I think what we tend to forget about our religion is this religion is actually about getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the point of it. It's literally to get close to Allah. And not only to get close to Allah, but to experience the divine in our lives. To actually experience the presence of the divine. That we're in a world that has angelic beings, demonic beings. And we share this space. There's angels that come with believers, and there's shayateen that come with the people of foulness and misdeeds. So